play frontlining, but it's still going to be very solid when that Talon comes through, when the Graves is trying to get up at very low range.
The one thing I do really like about the Braum is that it leans heavily in what Hanwha has drafted here, which has been their identity the entire...
Have to play very defensively here. We'll see whether he does actually blade surge forward or look for some of this CS as Carrier now searching for the hook, finds the blade first, end of the line comes on in, and that is a very dead Aurelia and first blood.
Yep.
Seen a fair bit of that.
Well, this Drake is going to go over for free because there's a little bit of a hole in T1's vision. And
just a little bit here. Some last-minute plates to come through, or last 3-minute plates, I guess. You want to be technically correct. As Gumayusi looking for Vista here underneath the turret. The flash gets him out of the way of the hook as Vista's looking to keep himself alive. Ona now in trouble as Deft turns up once again. He gets exhausted immediately. Vista, what the heck was that? Unbelievable play from the Hummer Life support.
But T1 have had a lot of these swings in the past. Now they go in on Deft.
Yeah, Ona's looking for the dive. This turret is so extraordinarily low. They get themselves the teleport out as Gumayusi taking a lot of damage here as well. Deft moving forward as Hanwha. They do have all the boys together.
Yeah, they're going to look for a fight
might need to get out of this one. Yeah, exactly right. Troll Ward goes down. Harmer Life, wrestle back, some vision
control. Up too far and getting hooked in. Now, Gumayushi's still going to be able to pick this up, but I do love the investment from Hanwha to like try and actually hold onto their objective.
Sidestepped by the Zoe. And T1 wrestled out of the river as there's the Moonlight Vigil to come down. Morgan could be in trouble here. Flashes the hook. Not quite long enough. Great double stun there from Morgan, but they are still going to be able to get pressure onto this turret. T1 wanting to grab that is now Vista looking to come round once again. There's the ulti to come through for Morgan. Only one person can take that lantern, and now Canna could be in trouble. He's down so low and trying to get the damage out as Deft finishes him off in the end. Morgan likely to fall as well. It's 2 for 1 so far for T1. And Harmer Life Esports now forced to leave. Flash comes out from Chovy. That's one that he stole away as T1 are on the wrong side of this Drake, but now with the man advantage.
It's not over just yet. They keep looking.
I mean, this is so risky for Hanwha Life Esports here.
Ona parkouring his way in. There's the Shockwave ball delivery system here, and Vista, he's going to go golden for a little while. Stands beside Willa, keeps himself alive for the moment. As Ona, below half health, great hook to come through from Carrier, but there is another stopwatch from this team. Of course, Willa, no way out.
Trying to hit these pot shots while everyone else is blocking, and they're coming back in.
Does Deft have ultimate? No, he doesn't, as Ona could be in trouble here. One last auto. It's actually going to be the Zoe that picks it up with a bubble.
I think the shot calling is a little bit crisper, but in terms of raw mechanics, Hanwha Life is showing why they're in this quarterfinal.
Yep, Vista caught in amongst a whole lot of people as the Shockwave finds absolutely no one still. Carrier locks down that kill in the meantime.
And the Aurelia, and of course the Braum in this very rare circumstance where you can actually pull it off, is to actually pull people out of their engages as Deft might be in trouble.
Yeah, kind of looking for the dive right underneath this turret. He had the shield bow, and he's absolutely fine. Just walks, takes down the 80 carry of Harmer Life Esports.
He's got plated steel caps. He's going to live through the damage that Misfortune can put off. And that extended trade, you're always going to win when you have the shield bow, even under turret.
A little bit in one of the earlier mid-game fights where they wanted to re-engage, but weren't able to. As they might go in here.
Baker looking for the Shockwave, finds it onto Willa there pretty comfortably as the ulti comes through to keep the Xinzao alive, but it's not going to work for long enough. The Gore Drinkers.
And if you don't have vision, Zoe is fighting blind, especially with all these brushes on Ocean Rift, so you're just not going to be...
Aurelia can't reliably match someone inside. A lot of the value does get taken away as
Shockwave. Oh, just walked into the Shockwave. He does use his Zonyas. Try and keep himself up, and now will flash away, but Willa is going to pay for his sins. The ulti comes down, and it is not going to...
They're already so far ahead. You don't have a jungler anymore as Hanwha Life Esports. 100% you can take this. Hanwha Life, this is a mistake to challenge.
Yeah, well, Carrier finds yet another hook, but there's no backup, as now Morgan looking to get in there. Does dive into the back of the pit. There's Hanwha looking for more. The Baron does go over to T1, but can they keep themselves alive? Will any of these Barons make it out of the pit as Guma is about to say yes? The bullet time not finding the value they were looking for, but the bubble will now connect. And Chovy's going to find the paddle star there as well, so Ona is
lane. And then you have the Aphelios in Guma, who's going to just be there anyway, and you can set up a 4-1 and still utilize the power of the Baron.
Well, speaking of utilizing things, Vista going to throw out his ultimate. Ona just going to say, no. These portal jumps are dangerous, but he does need to try and utilize them as these turrets are just falling one after the other. Vista, no ultimate available, but he's still stepping forward, trying to deny this turret from T1, but it is not going to work. The Red Bull Baron power play ticking up.
With that Zonius and actually just more pure damage. Maybe you could blow somebody up because T1 are just grouped up. They have better vision, so if you just hit someone with a paddle star,
Someone now trying to protect that one ward that they have, but the orb sitting right in that brush. Canna gets on over. Remember, Faker's Shockwave, it is right there. It is ready to go as Ona taken down to half health. Hanwha still with a fair bit of fight left in them. Chovy looking for a bubble, doesn't quite find it there. As the teleport comes in, it's Faker that locks down the Drake as Will is trying to keep himself alive once again. Flashes out.
So late, then they had to flash out. Willer's flashless. I mean, T1 are looking to actually start finishing this game shortly here. You make any mistakes as Hanwha, the game ends.
Well, now Morgan away this red buff. The entire jungle on both sides of the map belongs to T1. Is okay, Ono going to take a little bit of a nap here, but he's just so tanky. Willer can't say the same thing as Morgan looks for some stuns, but he's not going to quite find them. The Crescent Guard looks to try and keep Willer alive, but it isn't going to be enough as Canna's going to get knocked up, but that is just disengaged from Hanwha Life. Another dive forward as it is going to be a bit sleepy for Ona, but he is going to be able to make his way out. And all of these attempted picks, Chovy's landed so many bubbles, but it just does not matter.
And while this happened, T1 had a way set up on both sides to shove and pushed into the turret, getting damage, giving up free minions as well.
I mean, this is a fight that T1 just avoided by tossing ultimates into a choke.
It was about 15 minutes into the game until about 25 is when they theoretically should have been strong. That time has gone. T1 in so much control as Hanwha trying to do the very best to defend their base, but 2 inhibitors go down. 3-man Shockwave just found out of nowhere from Faker as Willer. The only way that he can go is forward. He is Xin Zhao. This kid has not changed. And T1, they're looking to end it all right here, right now, as Morgan very low as well. Trying to defend that one Nexus turret. Visca being a valiant defender, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The Nexus turrets just melt at the hands of Gumayusi's Crescendum. The Nexus going to follow suit, and T1, all business in game 1. Love the look on Morgan's face when he got his Renekton. Of course, like, we've been talking about Morgan's improved, things like that. No, Morgan just started picking Renekton again, because that is the champion that is 150. Oh, engaging in onto T1 is dangerous, though, as we've got a back coming through from Morgan, maybe thinking about getting himself an item. A teleport coming on down from T1 as Faker's going to get hooked, has the ultimate, keeps himself alive. Chains of Corruption come out as well, though, as Deft looking for some arrows. Shelly getting in amongst it as well, as she eventually decides that she wants to get out, as Chovy bullying Gumayusi away from this pit, and T1, they don't want the fight.
T1, I mean, they really just got completely out-rotated here. Morgan's on the backside, by the way, and is going to be able to catch this wave, but hit point advantage goes to Life Esports. They've got long range engaged too. You have to respect this as T1. This could be a huge mistake. There's a teleport coming through top side here.
That's the second teleport to come on in. Faker, no flash available, but now has full health once again. As Morgan, he can blast cone over, but the information is now there from T1. They know that this isn't going to work out, as Owner is going to steal away the Rift Herald. Now Morgan diving on in immediately. He gets exhausted. Canna looking for Willer on the backline, but has he overextended is a question. Morgan staying alive for so long, and first blood goes to Faker. Chovy gets smashed into the wall at the back of Shelly's pit, but does make his way out. Gumayusi trying to get him, as they're not going to fall for that funny business. It's a double kill for Faker, and T1 a huge lead in the early.
You push Morgan away in that moment. He can't come in on top of everybody else. Faker teleport to the top side of that fight at the beginning was really scary, but they ended up winning the fight at the end of the day, and so much aggression, so much all in.
Life Esports very quickly running out of options this game.
And trading even here, like, yeah, maybe Morgan, you know, is able to pick up extra plates compared to Gumayusi, but it's who does the goal still bad trades? And in of itself, it says a lot that you call a basically, like, what was it, 8-10 minute fight with a composition already their Hail Mary. Like, that's not a good place to be in as a team. And I think that this is something that we've seen Hanwha do a lot domestically, right? Like, this is one of the reasons why this team has faltered so much in summer, and we can still see.
The other thing is, like, right now is Chovy, watch him try to find any damage, and it's just not realistic.
Well, the rest of the team coming on over. Shirley's down very, very low as it's the flash on forward to get things started, but Willer just throws his life away in the end. Canna, yep, pretty immune right now as Vista looking to try and get his way out. Oh, not quite able to land the passive just there as the piercing arrow does a lot of work. Canna eventually, with the help of a few dots, is able to take down the Nautilus. As over the wall goes Chovy and into the death chamber with him, as Morgan as well trying to walk his way out. T1 extraordinarily far ahead right now, 5-0 in the kills. Shirley steps up and they're looking to break down this turret, as Canada's standing in, getting a bit of his thumbs up out there. And this could just be 2 turrets right here.
That right
This Poppy
You can't all-in Faker, because Faker's ult's up. You can't all-in Gumayusi because Keria is with him non-stop. You need everybody to go in all at once.
They're still trying to find something, though, as Canna dives on forward. It is going to be T1 locking down the Drake, but can they win the fight? And I think that the answer to that is yes, is Chovy able to get back over the wall in their region, because that's not what this represents, right? This represents T1 tidying up their gameplay so much more, as this was a 5-game series. Is now Canna looking to try and get more done. Gumayusi, a massive ulti in the backline. The Varus just dies. I didn't even see what he got hit by. It just gets completely obliterated.
Baby coming through.
It was just needled. He was just needled, as Canna is just so extraordinarily strong right now. Willa trying to get away, but he's not going to be able to. Gets the thumbs up, and Canna is indeed unstoppable.
And this is giving me flashbacks to what we saw, as he might still get popped here.
Well, we'll see how immune he's going to be. We're going to try and cut down the Crocodile. It's going to be difficult, but does still have his circle available. Yeah, exactly. T1, they can just go over and grab it. And yes, congratulations, Harmalife Esports. You do have yourselves a Baron. But Faker is going to come through and try and do a 1v2. Ults himself. Gets a bit of extra damage down there, but Faker should still die, but no. Able to walk his way out. And
he's against a very squishy Varus, who has no protection with the support that they've chosen for him, right? He's playing with
T1 continuing to push their advantage forward, though, as the Claw is threatened there by Faker, but instead they're just going to take this turret. All just standing in the mist alongside.
Game. And if you're a Hanwha Life Esports fan, the tears might already be flowing a little bit. And
yeah, it's really, really rough. They're going to fight for this blue buff. It is going to be secured there by Chovy, so at least there's that. And now Owner actually in a bit of trouble. He's going to flash his way out. Faker there to follow up, though, as he dives on forward with that Ring of Frost. Still has the ultimate. Also has a Zhonya's as well, as Faker actually going to fall here. He'd already used that Frozen Tomb, so unfortunately no option to have that one. It's a 1-for-1 thus far. Still trading evenly here on Harmalife Esports side. We were saying that, you know, that's bad. When you're behind, generally it's good, but I don't know, with the draft, it's so difficult here for Hanwha.
With how gimme of a fight that was for T1, the fact that this is this close is a bad sign. I mean, T1 were way out of position, and they still end up trading it back.
It's free.
Diving forward.
Keeps going. And it also is something of a showcase of how League has changed over the years. Because I think if Chovy was a player
through, but there's so much vision here for T1 that Hanwha Life Esports had to push through.
It's going to rush it down. Morgan can dive on over the side. Steadfast Presence is going to be there, and the Poppy locks down the Baron. Now can they win the fight, though, as they immediately just run over Chovy. And with Chovy dead, there is nothing left. It's a triple kill for Gumayusi, and Depp finds himself alone. I think this is the end for Hanwha Life Esports in game number 2. As Deft not going to be able to cleanse again, and that's going to be the ace given over. T1 storm down the mid lane in an extraordinarily dominant first 2 games. They'll bring themselves to match point.
They've neutered Deft in the early game. They prevented Chovy from getting a lead back-to-back, game after game here. Chovy's not able to carry. He's not able to pop off. Morgan not getting ahead. And these early game, extremely tempo-based compositions that we're seeing Hanwha Life Esports.
Yeah, but this is an LCK versus LCK, so it is R5 Gnar. That's how it's supposed to work.
I like this Gnar actually a lot better. I know it's not as fun as what you guys were maybe hoping for in that Fiora gets the first Drake. Now you have a slight advantage, a little bit of extra resistances here going into that upcoming fight. Plus,
as Will is going to make his way into the river, gets double raked and gets a thumbs up for it. Very, very nice, as that's a Gravitum stun that's going to land. The hook is going to go completely wide, though. That was an odd maneuver. Carrier gets stunned up. And now Will is making his way in, but Owner in perfect position. Do you want to fight a low health Olaf, though, is the question. And Owner's answer is absolutely. Yes, I would very much like to do that as Stand Beside Me comes on in. And Owner's going to get exhausted. That's the flash forward. Owner thought he'd done the calculation, but it doesn't quite work. Everyone's health bar is extraordinarily low, though, and T1 are closing in on this bottom side of the map. Deft, yeah, Vista's going to have to cancel the back because he doesn't want to leave Deft alone. Because the rake's going to be avoided this time. Deft is going to flash to get himself out of the way. Not a lot of summoner spells left remaining, and first blood
is the one with a draft that, yeah, they can make corrective plays. They don't necessarily need to, but they get the shove. They put down the ward. Immediate teleport comes through from Kana, who has already
burst down that turret. He gets all plates and first turret, so 610 extra gold going through. They get a Drake here. And I mean,
Getting way ahead of
there's
ourselves because
still
this series isn't even over yet.
Ripped
And
Arrow on the
Shirley is
table.
now getting taken down. T1, let's see whether they can win this battle. Gravitum comes on out. Chains of Corruption are going to be the answer, so that means Hanwha should be able to get Shirley, but the Moonlight Vigil comes down. That's stolen away though. Owner actually diving forward. Faker using his ult to make sure no one can get out. Deft going to be the first victim. That's another one to go down as well, as unfortunately Will is not going to be able to Ragnarok that, and Chovy's still alive. Morgan is his only teammate that's also there, and unfortunately it's not for too much longer. He needs to try and get through both Canna and Faker. Okay, fight's continuing to erupt here. The flash has to come through because the return of the Rake was going to be enough to get rid of Chovy, and he's getting closed in upon. Carrier actually gets it with the edge.
Play between Mad and Dumb and Kia, which...
Oh no, but like if
Hey,
Mad
look,
beats Stump Kia,
Yeah,
then that's an amazing
It's
semi.
even
All
better,
I'm saying is,
arguably.
all I'm speaking
It doesn't matter, but the cohesion and the teamfight execution from T1 is... It's not on the level that we've seen from this far.
So that's why we may be overstating it, because it has been like finally we're breathing out after holding our breath for what feels like 3 years.
Like I said, I mean, you got 3 stars on the jersey. Maybe this is the year bring home a 4th one. Looks a lot more hopeful for me than when I watched T1 in 2019. As Chovy finds himself alone here, we'll be able to get out, but that's going to be a dead turret. And I mean, we esports don't have any vision on the Baron. They know what's being done, though. They're going to go through this choke point.
Yeah, some scary guns on Gumayusi as well as the ult comes forward from Vista, trying to start this one off in their favor. It's not the steal, and it's just a dead Willa to start this one off, but at least Morgan dives on forward, takes out Faker, tries to drive by, but it's not going to work. Deft now going to be the focus. It's Gumayusi. That's so many chakrams. He is terrifying on this Aphelios. Vista going to get taken down, and now Owner parkours his way into this top lane. Deft a sitting duck right now, and it's the double kill to come through from the T1 jungler, and that I think was the
From Hanwha, they need a lead. We have seen these comps work if they get out early, but now Carrier.
This is going to get hooked.
Don't miss.
Yeah, Kerry is just a little bit too good on this Thresh. As yeah, Faker's going to come on through, throws down the ultimate. That is going to be Soul Point now available for T1, but I don't know whether this game has another 5 minutes in it, as this inner turret's getting sieged up. To check in on that Red Bull Baron power play, we're very close to 4K, and Faker's going to take down the inner turret in the mid lane. Same to be said for this bottom lane for the rest of T1. We're going to head towards about that 5,000 mark. Hanwha Life, can they actually defend this is the question. I think the answer
It's 10K.
is almost a glaring no. As Canna walks on forward, he's got the Meganar, slows down Deft. No flash available here though, so can't close the gap. But it doesn't matter. I mean, they're just obliterating the base of Hanwha Life Esports, and Hanwha just looks like they don't have a response. Chovy trying to look for a flank, but he has to sweep out all of this vision. And T1, they've got all of the answers. Gumayusi now with the Graviton, stuns up almost everyone by himself, gets the ulti out from Vista. And now Hanwha have to get back to their fountain. What?
They return to form, and I hate to say it, but I don't think people will be talking about this series from years to come. This is one of those series for a miracle if you're a Hanwha Life Esports fan. Tournament life on the line here.
I don't know, man. Even a miracle may not be enough here as Hanwha, they don't even get towards the pit. The Baron is secured. Willa now down extraordinarily low. It says he's unstoppable, but it's looking pretty stoppable right now as Gumayusi's dominating as he takes down the jungler. Hanwha now running for the hills as quickly as possible. Decent disengage ult from Vista as Chovy dives into the back line. Gets exhausted though straight away. Morgan with the dominance gets on top of Gumayusi, but there's so much peel, and he is going to be okay. Lantern thrown out for Faker as Chovy flashes himself out of the way. Morgan doing the same thing as Owner goes golden. Vista and Deft still alive for the moment, but the Talon has found the Varus, and yes, the base is being absolutely destroyed. Chovy now on the wrong side, and this is going to be the ace almost, as Morgan the only one left remaining, but Nexus turrets aren't going to be here, and T1, they are just looking to end this game right here and put Hanwha Life Esports out of their misery. Canna was staying there for quite some time, but honestly, he probably can, as the rest of T1 are going to turn up.
This game would have already been over if Faker was actually able to finish his teleport. He was teleporting to the bot side wave, but Chovy interrupted him. It doesn't even matter
Yeah,
though.
it's heroic, but it's not going to matter. T1 will 3-0 Harmon Life Esports. They wanted to do this in the World's Gauntlet. Thankfully, they got a second try, and damn, second time was the charm.
T1 advanced to the semifinals in the most dominant fashion, I think,